I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years.
Karoline Leavitt and Joy Behar are at the center of a major controversy. After Behar's comments about Leavitt's appointment as White House press secretary, Leavitt didn't hold back. She filed a lawsuit and even claimed to have forced The View to fire Behar. What really happened between these two? The drama is far from over. This whole drama erupted during a recent episode of The View, the show known for stirring up heated debates and causing waves. The moment that set everything in motion involved none other than Joy Behar, a longtime co-host. During a discussion about Karoline Leavitt, the 27-year-old who had just been named White House press secretary, Behar made a comment that quickly became the center of controversy. Behar casually remarked, "Let's be real, she probably got the job because she's pretty, not because of any real qualifications." You heard that right. Instead of acknowledging Leavitt's qualifications, political experience, or ability to handle the press, Behar reduced her to little more than eye candy.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
She said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Karoline Leavitt isn't just a pretty face. She's a seasoned political figure, having served in high-profile Republican campaigns and worked in Trump's administration. At just 27, she became the youngest person ever appointed to the role of White House press secretary. But Behar's comment didn't consider any of that. It completely undermined her career and the work she had put in to reach such a prestigious position. Rather than recognizing her professional achievements, Behar chose to attack her based on her appearance. And let's be honest, that didn't sit well with many people, sparking a firestorm of backlash and controversy that would only escalate from there. As soon as Behar dropped that bomb, the backlash was swift and loud. Audience members in the studio were shocked. You could practically hear the collective gasp in the air. Some of Behar's fellow co-hosts looked visibly uncomfortable. Alyssa Farah Griffin, a former Trump administration staffer herself, was quick to clap back. She pointed out that Leavitt wasn't a political newbie. This wasn't her first rodeo, just her first press briefing. The internet exploded. People from all sides of the political spectrum were taking to Twitter, blasting Behar's remarks. One Twitter user fired back, "If a Republican had said anything remotely like that, they'd be dragged through the mud." Another one chimed in, "Joy Behar just proved once again that The View only supports women who think like them." She went after Karoline because she doesn't fit the narrative.
Joy Behar calls her a 10. I mean, how dare she objectify a woman with a sexist rating system, but it's such a typical thing from a 1.5.
And if you think it was just fans and critics who were upset, wait until you hear what happened next. Karoline herself wasn't about to sit back and let this slide. Instead of issuing a basic statement or going the usual route of media silence, Karoline Leavitt went straight for the jugular. She filed a defamation lawsuit against Joy Behar, accusing her of spreading false and malicious claims. In her legal complaint, Leavitt stated, "Joy Behar's comments were not only inaccurate but also harmful to my reputation. It's clear that these remarks were intended to damage my career and my credibility." Leavitt made it clear that this wasn't a minor dispute. It was a calculated attack on her character. By taking legal action, she signaled that she wasn't going to let Behar's words go unchallenged. Sources from within the network claim that the brass at ABC were in full-blown panic mode. They weren't sure whether to issue an apology, suspend Behar, or, get this, pull the nuclear option and cut ties with her altogether. The atmosphere at ABC was described as tense and chaotic. Staffers at The View were reportedly split. Some rushed to defend Behar, claiming her comments, while inappropriate, weren't worth all the backlash. Others, though, saw things differently. They believed Behar's comment had crossed a major line, especially for someone who publicly positions herself as a champion of women's rights. One anonymous staffer even admitted, "This isn't the first time Joy has put us in hot water, but this time it feels like we can't come back from it."
You know, ABC having just paid $15 million for a defamation lawsuit.
Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists, but they have been wrong about everything.
Meanwhile, legal experts weighed in from all directions. Many were debating whether Behar's comments could be classified as defamation. Some argued Leavitt had a strong case, especially given the personal nature of Behar's remarks. Others thought it might be tricky, considering the challenge of proving malice in defamation cases involving public figures. But one thing was for sure, this wasn't just some petty workplace drama. The stakes were high, and ABC was facing a potential public relations nightmare. Joy Behar, the woman who's built her entire career on standing up for women, women's rights, and feminist ideals, was now at the center of controversy for making a dismissive, gendered comment about another woman's accomplishments. Isn't that just rich? Behar has spent years calling out others for doing exactly what she just did to Caroline Leavitt. The hypocrisy didn't go unnoticed. Fans and critics alike were calling out Behar's double standard, especially considering she had spent so much of her career railing against dismissive, sexist remarks about women. The fallout from this scandal was swift. Not long after Caroline Leavitt filed her lawsuit, ABC made an announcement that no one saw coming. Joy Behar was leaving The View. The timing of the announcement, coming just days after the lawsuit was filed, made many speculate that this wasn't a voluntary departure. Some insiders believe ABC was effectively forced to push Behar out to protect the show's future and avoid further damage to their already tarnished reputation. Public reactions to Behar's departure were mixed. Some people were celebrating, claiming that it was about time Behar faced consequences for her controversial remarks. One fan even tweeted, "Maybe they need to cancel ABC altogether. That would fix all their problems." Others, however, mourned the loss of one of The View's most outspoken voices. They argued that Behar's departure was a direct result of political pressure, and that ABC had caved to outside forces. On the other hand, conservative commentators saw this as a major victory. To them, Behar's exit was an example of accountability in a media environment they often perceive as biased. But let's be real, the situation is far from over. Many are backing Caroline Leavitt, praising her courage, and standing up for herself in the face of what they see as an unfair attack. One supporter commented, "Caroline is handling this with grace and dignity. She's earned her role, and Joy Behar's comments were just petty." Others, however, are still on the fence, questioning whether the lawsuit will just create more drama. No matter where you stand, there's no denying that this controversy is massive. It's not just about two women clashing on a TV show. It's about the larger issues of sexism, media bias, and the fine line between free speech and defamation. Now, let's talk about The View itself. Without Joy Behar, the show is in a major crisis. She was one of the defining voices of the panel, and her absence leaves a significant hole. ABC will have to figure out how to fill that gap. Will they bring in another outspoken liberal voice? Or will they shift the panel's dynamics to add a more conservative perspective? Either way, the show's future is uncertain. The public trust in The View has been shaken, and it's going to take a lot to rebuild it. And what about Joy Behar? What's next for her? Will she fight back against the lawsuit and try to clear her name? Or will she quietly fade into the background, leaving behind a legacy as one of daytime TV's most controversial and polarizing figures? As for Caroline Leavitt, her decision to sue Behar has certainly elevated her profile. But now, she's at the center of a media circus. Will this lawsuit help her cause, or could it backfire? The drama is far from over, and this story promises to have more twists and turns than a Hollywood thriller. So, here's the million-dollar question. Did ABC do the right thing by letting Joy Behar go? Or was she unfairly pushed out because of political pressure? And can The View survive without one of its most iconic voices? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, And don't forget to hit that like button if you're here for the drama. And if you want to stay up to date on all the latest gossip, subscribe for more juicy content. Trust me, this story is just getting started. Stay tuned for more shocking twists and turns.